Hi everyone, it's Carissa. Today I wanted to show you how to work an I-cord cast on for your knitting projects. Now, if you've been a subscriber for a while, you might think that this sounds a little familiar, and it's true. I did post a video a few years back with the I-cord cast on, but today I wanted to show you a slightly different technique. So first let's look at what an I-cord cast on is. This is the cord that's along the bottom of my work here that starts our project, and it looks good on the front and the back. It's a horizontal cord that's worked from side to side while simultaneously creating stitches that will be worked into our fabric here. The previous video that I posted a few years ago, which I'll link down below, started at the bottom right and worked to the left, creating stitches that built up on our right hand needle. Today's technique goes the opposite direction. We start here at the left corner and work towards the right, building up stitches on the left hand needle instead. So let's take a look, shall we? So I'm going to start with my needles and my yarn here. And first thing we're going to do is cast on a few stitches, just in any way you like. Depending on your pattern, you may be starting with 2, 3, even 4 stitches. It really depends on how thick you want that I-cord to be at the edge. For the purposes of this video, I'm just going to start with 3 stitches. And I like a long tail cast on, but it honestly does not matter how you cast on these first few stitches. This is just going to be the beginning of our I-cord, those first 3 stitches. And you can see that my working yarn here is attached to the stitch closest to my needle tip. In order to work I-cord, that working yarn needs to be attached to the stitch furthest away from my needle tip. So I'm going to transfer all of these stitches, just slip them over to the right hand needle, to the left hand needle. Slip them one by one without twisting them. So now my working yarn is attached to the stitch that is furthest away from my needle tip. And to work I-cord, I'm going to bring that working yarn across the back of the stitches to start working that first stitch closest to the needle tip. So I will knit the first stitch just like normal. I will knit the second stitch just like normal. And then with that last stitch, I'm going to knit through the front and back of that stitch for an increase. So I'll knit it like normal, and then before I drop that stitch off the left hand needle, I'm going to rotate my right hand needle around, go into the back loop of that stitch, and knit it again. And that stitch right there, the one that went through the back loop, that is our first official I-cord cast on stitch. So these first 3 stitches here are still the I-cord itself, and any extra stitches on the left hand side are the actual I-cord cast on stitches. So now we're going to slip all 4 of these stitches back to our left hand needle without twisting. And we're going to repeat the process again. So this first stitch over here that has been cast on, he gets to stay on the left hand needle. But the first 3 stitches that are the I-cord, we're going to be working into those over and over again to work this I-cord cast on. So again, I'm going to knit the first 2 stitches just like normal. And then in the 3rd stitch, I'm going to knit it through the front and through the back. And that stitch that was just knitted through the back there, that is my next I-cord cast on stitch. I'm going to put him over on the left hand needle with his friend. So now I have cast on 2 stitches with the I-cord cast on, and these 3 stitches on my right hand needle are the I-cord itself. So I'm going to continue working into these 3 stitches over and over again, and the stitches that accumulate on my left hand needle are the cast on stitches. So I'll slip the I-cord stitches back to my left hand needle and do that again. And I'll show it to you if you hold the yarn in your right hand. It works the same way. We'll knit the first 2 stitches just like normal. And then with the 3rd stitch, we'll knit it through the front. And we'll rotate our right needle around and go into the back of that stitch and knit it through the back as well. Oh, I lost it. There we go. Pull that through, off the left needle, and now we've cast on another stitch with our I-cord cast on. So we'll slip all 4 of those stitches back to the left hand needle. And let's do that one more time. Knit the first 2 stitches just like normal. And then knit through the front and the back of the 3rd stitch. And that stitch that was knit into the back is my next cast on stitch. So I'll move him back to the left hand needle so you can see this a little bit better. So again, these 3 stitches that I keep working into over and over again are forming the I-cord that goes horizontally along the bottom of the cast on. And the 4 stitches up here on my left hand needle that have been worked into the back loop of the I-cord stitches along the way, these are my actual cast on stitches. So when the pattern says I-cord cast on 4 stitches, there we go. I've got my 4 stitches. Thank you very much for watching.